sad news in a way. I've got to get rid of something, and the next vehicle that drives out that door is that vehicle. The Land Rover. I've sorted out a little bit of a trade with somebody who's got something. I'm not going to say I've always wanted one. This may give it away. Ewan McGregor and Charlie Bowman were the reason I want one. This is the evening before. I've got to drive it to Guildford to swap it over. Are you going to miss it?
Yeah.
Alright, so that's it. The Land Rover's ready to go. I'm taking with me a rag, pair of mole grips, high-vis jacket and a warning triangle. And that's mainly because I know this thing will not be an issue. Alright, I'm gonna chuck a drop of fuel in and then hit the road. Come with me. Let me explain to you what I use the Land Rover for, and then I think it'll make sense what I'm changing it for. The Land Rover, the MOT and the tax exempt is a big thing. The fact that it can wade through floods, because Somerset is pretty flat and it doesn't take much for the roads to flood, particularly where I keep my vehicles. And I can get a car through it, but I'll be drying the interior out for the next bloody week. The Comma, I don't like taking the Comma through it because the air filter's low on that and I just don't like doing it. The Land Rover, absolute, loves it. So I wade through like half a metre of water quite regularly when it's wet around here. Another thing that the Land Rover does for me is it's a pickup, or truck cab as they call it in Land Rover world. So I can put rubbish in the back, bin bags, cardboard waste, old engine oil, and I'm not worried about it dirtying my car. Then another thing is is picking things up like engines and stuff. If you put a 280 kilo engine and box in the back of this thing, it drives nicer. So like that's the big appeals, right? The next vehicle's got to be MOT and tax exempt, wade through water, can be used as a pickup or a van with rubbish and stuff in the back, and can deal with 400-500 kilos of stuff in the back without sitting on its arse or destroying its suspension. Right, that's it. This is the last time you're going to see this outside my house. Time to get out of here. I don't know if you watch from abroad, but this is nuts. And it's like 185 for diesel. Quite a steep hill coming up. It's got a crawler there, and there's no lorries around luckily. I bet you lorries would pass me up here. So I'm in some crawling traffic now, and the reason, if you live in the southwest, so if you travel between the southwest and London, you'll know the pinch point which needs to be knocked down, or a tunnel needs to be built. The place, Stonehenge. It's because people are stupid and people slow down to look at it. Just pulled over about 25 minutes away from where I need to be, somewhere near Guildford. Land Rover's going fine. I'm partially deaf. Just messaged the guy, told him where I am, and yeah, I'm just going to carry on. It's too easy. I say that right, it's going to be hard. Join in that. Hold on tight.
Much later.
Oh, fuel starvation. Come on, boy. They'll catch up. If you own a Classic, you probably know what fuel starvation is. Fuel boils off really easily. It's way easier than water. It boils off at quite a low temperature. If you've got a hot engine and the engine's running constantly, that's fine. You've got a steady supply of fuel. But if you stop and the fuel is no longer being pumped in, the fuel which is around the engine starts to evaporate. You pull off, you've got enough fuel to idle, you try and accelerate, and it's trying to run on vapor. We survive. All good. Before I get you too excited, I should tell you it is not what I'm about to show you. This is a Gaz 66, I think. V8 Russian lorry. Absolutely cool as. Very cool. Right, I'm waiting for the guy now because he's gone out looking for me. But I've turned up here. So wait till he turns up. What I'm getting is over here. Oh. It's a bit bigger in person than I had imagined. Definitely bigger than the Land Rover. It's cool. It's worth pointing out that the seller did say to me if he was going to buy it in my position, he would trailer it back. He had imported it over here, got the paperwork sorted, had plans to do various jobs to it, but hadn't touched it, and it needed a good going over before being used in anger. He told me all that, so that's before I even went to see it. So me turning up, finding issues, sorting them, and trying to drive it back, that's all on me. It's not on the seller. Can you tell what it is yet? This is positively horrible. superb. Right, so it wouldn't be a living my boost life adventure if there wasn't an issue. This was running on 3 cylinders, but I thought it might be the trait of the engine sounded like it runs on 3, because the one I drove in Holland was running on 3, and there's loads of videos of these sounding like they're running on 3 cylinders. Well, as I was driving it, I reckon on startup you could hear compression leaking out, sounding like a loose spark plug. Certainly is. It's an alley head, there's a strict spark plug thread. Don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this. Yeah, big time. Shit. This is the plan. Tube holding the spark plug down, screw up the dizzy, washer with a slot in it. Like that, yeah? Let's try it.
Oh, it's this covers it up.
Yeah. Still blowing through it a little bit. Do you hear that like chaffing noise?
Is it bad then?
So now, I've just drained the old oil out of it. I haven't even left the guy's place, I'm still here. Because it stunk of fuel and it was so thin, so I happen to have this in the Land Rover. And I'm just gonna chuck fresh oil in it. Just so it stands more of a chance of staying together. Right, let's do the journey home. So we're in it. You meet me here in my new UAZ. So there's a bit of an issue, right? Lots of these that I've seen are running on 3 cylinders. And I was beginning to think maybe that was just a trait of the aluminium engine. It certainly isn't. Well, it could be, but they're not running on 4 cylinders. They are definitely running on 3, and it's because the spark plug ripped out of the head. So I get or fixed it. It's definitely much better than it was. But it does need at least a heli coil. It should be fine. Ignition wise and fuel wise, pretty much everything needs going over, but it's all pretty simple stuff. the bottom. So I've got to go into the hill at like 40 mile an hour. Oh. Sauce people. So there's a lost bit of footage because the battery ran out on my phone, but on the shortly after this footage you've just watched ends, there's another steep hill. Going up that, the spark plug shot out, and I had trouble getting it to reseat. So the last 10 miles of the journey were done purely on 3 cylinders, but I'll fill you in at the end of the video about what happened. So what time are we on? Midnight, is it?
It's past midnight.
It's past midnight. We are on the 303 turnoff for where I live. And yeah, the battery's dead. Plus obviously the spark plug's shot out. So we've just picked up the 900 and a boost pack. We were going to tow it back if it needs it. We've put the boost pack on the van. Jesus Christ, I'm going to get squashed.
Oh, I just...
Jesus! We're off the road. We put the boost pack on the van, so it should have enough charge to get us home. So let's just drive. It's going to be noisy. Success. Right, try that. Oh, it's gonna be crushed. Keep going, keep going. Made it back. Big thanks to this guy, Jago. I would have had to call the breakdown bloody miles back, but didn't manage to capture it on video because I ran out of battery. But as we were going up the steeper hills, Jago was there risking his life with his hazards on, doing like 20 mile an hour. As we were coming up one of the last hills, the spark plug shot out. Tried to put it back in, it wouldn't seat properly, so then tried to start it again and just run it back on 3 cylinders. We were like 10 miles away from home. Battery was flat, and we managed to get it started, jump starting it. We had to tow it backwards with Jago's little Fiat, tow it back all the way to the end of the lay-by we were in, and then Jago pushed it, bump started it, took a few attempts, got it going, drove it the last few miles, lights really dim. Yeah, so the alternator's not charging. Got off the turn-in for the town I live in, pulled over, left it where it was, drove to the barn, got a jump pack and the 900 just in case we needed to tow it. Drove back, put the jump pack on it, and then just drove it the last 3 miles on 3 cylinders, very loud. Rolled it in the last little bit, but it made it. Just needs a heli coil now on the missing spark plug threads, and should be good. It's not. It would do. It was doing like 40 odd with 3 cylinders. With 4, who knows? Maybe it does do that elusive mid 50s, nearly 60s. But it's cool. I'm very happy with it.